All right, hello and welcome back all. This is David with Fairmere's Rangers, and we're doing something crazy this time. We're going to do a reaction video. Yeah, that's right. Because why not? I mean, reactions are all the craze on YouTube right now. So now we're going to get in on it. Because why not? Yeah. We might be even doing more of these here in the foreseeable future. We'll kind of see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But I think this will be pretty fun. Today, we're going to be reacting to TW Mala's channel. TW Mala HD, to be exact. I highly suggest you check out his channel if you haven't already. He does some amazing quality Let's Plays, and I think you would find them highly enjoyable too. A very courteous and kind man, and he has some very entertaining Let's Plays. They're not like your typical Let's Play that you're going to see on other people's channels. He has a very unique flair to what he does. He basically will ask advice from the viewers on what paths he should take. So the viewers have input on the direction that the campaign takes, if that makes sense. All right, let's get to it. So let's take a look at this battle he's going to be fighting that we're going to be actually reacting to, because I mean, we got to react to something in a reaction video. So here it goes. We're going to be reacting to his battle here. All right, so let's get into this battle. This battle is going to be taking place between Saxony and Prussia, and Mala is going to be playing as Saxony. As you can see, he just fought a battle and took Berlin from the Prussians. This army that is laying siege to Dresden right now is a Prussian force that was over here by their college and has now made its way over to lay siege to Dresden. I guess they're going to take out the capital and then try to go back and take Berlin back later. I guess that's the strategy the AI has in this. So let's take a look at what we're up against here. For Mala, Mala has two mortars in his garrison, and he's got, of course, 3 garrison line infantry, 3 garrison militia, and also a citizen, firelock citizen. And this is, of course, in Darth Mod also. That's very important to distinguish. The other thing is he has a reinforcement army which be coming from Berlin. It's going to have his general's bodyguard, 2 cav. They are depleted from the battle from Berlin. He's got a artillery unit, and he has this is a demi-cannon, of course, and he's going to have, looks like, 5 line infantry, 1 militia, and 1 pikeman. And in contention, he's got 3228 Prussians coming in to take what they want, is what they're desiring, I guess. They have a general's bodyguard, they have a regiment horse, and they also have a, I guess, a provincial cav. And it looks like they are going to be fielding 7 line infantry, all full strength, and 1 pikeman. Now, so taking a look at this army at first glance that he's opposing, obviously he has an advantage numerically over the Prussians. So the difference is also he has 2 mortars, the artillery. So he's got 3 artillery pieces to 1 artillery piece. So if I was fighting this battle, is the way I would be looking at this, the artillery that I would be using would be a suppression force, while the rest of my army surrounds this smaller force. Even if I can surround them in pockets, whatever, however I can do it, I'm going to surround them and defeat them in detail or defeat them in whole by using my numbers. Remember, in Empire Total War, and this works in Darth Mod as well, it's all morale based. So if you surround an opponent, they're going to have morale drops. They're going to be much easier to break. So obviously he has the force to be able to do that with. The main thing is he needs to knock out these 2 cav units first, and preferably the general, and then work on taking out the line infantry. At least that's how I would go about this battle. Now, of course, we're not reacting to me, we're reacting to Mala. So let's see how he takes us down. This is kind of a Sunday quarterback or Monday quarterback look at how this battle goes down. So let's get into it, shall we? So this, of course, is his original army. The Prussians are going to be spawning in on the other side of the city, and he has stated in this video that his reinforcement army should come in behind them. So what Mala is looking at in the setup here, I'm just going to summarize it for you. He is expecting the Prussians to make a frontal assault on his starting army. So he's wanting the city to break up the Prussians on their advance, and then he swallows them up. That's what the strategy is going to be that he's using. We're going to see how that goes. He does have his line infantry in the front, and again his militia. I would put my militia in the front and my line infantry in the back. That way your lesser units take less damage, have your best units in reserve. So that's what I would do differently there. But let's take a look, because sometimes things don't always go as you planned, and he has, you can see, set his army up way back from the starting position, because this would be where the closest he could get to the Prussians. So he's wanting them to push into his force. So let's see how that turns out. Alright, so the battle is starting, and I'm going to make a note of something here, if you will bear with me. Oops. Maybe. Alright. So, in taking a look at Mala's force, let's use you. Alright. So, Mala's got his reinforcements over here. The rest of his army is back here, as you can see the flags in the background. Of course, the Prussians have lined up. Here is their artillery right here. And they have, it looks like, I think that's their cav there. And of course, their line infantry, and they got a militia, and I believe that's a militia. So, with his spawning army coming out on here, let's see how he takes this fight. Now, one thing I'd like to remind everyone as we're viewing this is that this reaction on this battle, or this, I guess, Monday morning quarterback of this battle, I want to make sure that you understand that I am not criticizing anyone when I do this. This is simply to say what I would do in this situation, which is completely different. As you can see, the Prussian general is coming in. It's a good time to maybe get some shots off on that Prussian general. Yeah, so again, my reaction, of course, you can tell sometimes I do some pretty disastrous things here, so I can Monday quarterback my own moves as well. But we're not reacting to me at this point. I'll do a reaction of mine later. Let's see. He's getting some great shots on the general's bodyguard. And he's sending the pikemen up, and he's wanting to get them into melee with the general. Try to get them stuck in there. That's a great move. That way he can hopefully eliminate the general. Also, another great move is he's moving his general, his two cav out of the way, so his line infantry can come on and hopefully get some shots on these cav as they come in. Alright, so I'm going to pause this here. There's some things I want to point out. So one thing Mala is doing is he's setting himself up into a line battle with the Prussians here, so that they can exchange fire. That's what he looks like he's doing. The problem with this is that his force here coming in is pretty much inferior to the Prussians. So if the Prussians come at him full strength, he will have a very hard time defeating them, especially with the cav causing disruption. Looks like he is breaking the general's bodyguard right here, which is a good thing. Looks like he did kill the general, so that is also a good thing. So let's take a look at something. So what could be done better here? Of course, he has all of his reinforcement army back. I mean, his actual original army starting back here. Now they're further up. He needs to start moving these guys up immediately and get them into the back of the Prussians. But obviously he's got a lot of micro that's going to be happening here. So the best situation here is to try to avoid this fight as much as possible. The fight that he wants to take here is to try to eliminate these cav. He can do so, I would do so anyways, by getting a couple of these line infantry set up to get volleys off on the cav, getting as many kills on them as possible, and then I would be sending the rest of my line infantry off in this direction. That way I can take this fight over in this area, because the Prussians would most likely wheel about over here. They would pivot and then take the fight this direction. Typically that's what's going to happen. Now, one thing that is an advantage is because of the confusion here and the general being lost, the AI is going to start rejumbling their forces, and that's going to help him in this fight here, because they're going to do what the AI does best and send one unit at a time to fight. But eventually the AI will start sending their units over. Boy, that's a jumbled mess, isn't it? All right, let's get to it. All right, so you can see here he's shifting more line infantry over, and again, that's going to put him at odds. But you can see the Prussians are all jumbled up. The AI always resorts after it loses a unit. Okay, so he's trying to take out this remainder of this cav over here with the pikemen, which is not a bad move. Alright, so he's got the Prussian pikemen in a pickle here because they're getting flanking shots. It's going to cause morale drops, and they're taking melee charges. So the pikemen are done, and he's got his cav over here to the left. Okay, so we can see he has his army, his reinforcement army on the move. You can see their markers here coming forward. So the this would actually be the original army that started the battle. This is all the reinforcement army. He is moving his reinforcements up, and he is going to start picking a fight with the Prussians here. Now the Prussians are still jumbling. Again, every time the AI loses a unit, they're going to keep resorting. So that's kind of an advantage he's taken right there, and that's a good thing. But even still, you only got 3 depleted units here to take on all these Prussian units. This is not a good situation. Now he does have the 2 cav units over here off on the left side of the screen, and he does have these 3 here that are working to defeat the Prussian cav there. So once they are out, he can bring them up over here. But what I would be doing is I'd be avoiding this fight. I'd be pulling these guys back. At this point of the battle, you don't need to engage. Let the Prussians keep sorting while your reinforcements are coming forward. Then you can basically have your guys ready to go over here in this area. Let me clean this up. Alright, so if you pull them back into this vicinity and this vicinity, you got your artillery here. Make them push into your artillery while your original army makes its way forward. Once they get here to the edge of the town, that's when you bring up this force to this flank and this force here, and then you got yourself just the ability to keep squeezing them to make them be completely surrounded. And you have your cav here over in this area to be able to hit any units that try to break out of the circle. And that's what I would be working on, because once you have them completely surrounded, their morale is going to take massive drops. So that's what I would do in this situation. So let's see how it unfolds. Alright, so I just want to point this out. See, a lot of people do this. they like to select a lot of units. I do it too. Sometimes it's better to select one at a time in some situations you can't get a spot. And you see that? He's got some units starting to waver. They just haven't even gotten to battle yet. It's because they're exhausted from making that forced march over. And he just lost one of his militia. They were getting some friendly fire in the back, and that was enough to do it. But he should get those units back. And now the Prussians are going to take morale drops because they are taking on a fight from superior forces and flanking fire the whole 9 yards. So that's going to be a big advantage for them. His pikemen did come back. You can see some of his units are very depleted. Okay. Shoot. I don't know what happened there. Alright. Let me get back to that. Crap. Alright, so this is something I want to point out. Sends a pikeman over, that's good. Selecting all 3 units right here, remaneuvering them. Sometimes it's better to, if you're maneuvering up, you got 1 unit laying fire, then maneuver the other ones. That way you're still causing damage to their unit as you're maneuvering up. So what I would do is I would have left this unit here to continue laying fire while you move these 2 units. Let me see if I can draw this out. Just you can actually do this single selecting. Bring 1 line here and 1 line up here, and once your line gets into this area and you're about to set, then that's when you move this unit up, and then you start getting flanking fire. So that's how you do it. So he's getting flanking fire here, but you got to remember too, I got this artillery here. But again, the terrain might be to where the canister, so maybe you keep over here to this area, so at least you're a little bit further away from that canister shot. Keep spread thin. I like that you spread thin there. That's a good thing. So let's see what goes down. Haha, you know what, guys? I lied. This is where it's time for you to head over to Total War Mala or TW Mala's channel and check out the video so you can see how the battle concludes. I think this is a good place to end the thing and leave it as a teaser, so you have to go to his channel and watch the video to see how the battle concludes. Anyways, once again, I'd just like to say again, this review, if you will, is not to criticize Mala's gameplay. He is a very good player and a great YouTuber, and that's why I wanted to do this as my first reaction video, because he is somebody's channel that I really admire the work he does. He's one of the best YouTubers out there for Empire, so I wanted to give him a little love, if you will. So again, please check out his channel. Subscribe to him if you haven't. He's got a pretty good following already. Let's continue to add to that, and tell him that you're one of the Rangers, that you come to join his forces. And I think that'd be a good thing to do. Now, if you did like this reaction video, please let me know in the comments below, because I am thinking about doing more of them. Let's see, a good video title for this is maybe if I get some of my friends for multiplayer and we get a whole bunch of multiplayer guys reviewing single player, maybe we call it like reviewing people who play with themselves. You see where I'm going with this? The single player versus multiplayer. You probably don't, but anyways, I think it's funny. It's funny to me. So anyways, I think we're gonna do more of this. If you do want to see more of this, please let me know in the comments below, and I will do more reactions, and I'll pick up some lesser known YouTubers. That way you can get a feel for how their channel is, because there's a lot of small channels out there that need some love. So that's what we're going to do, guys, if you like this. So let me know in the comments below. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks again, everyone.